I really hope you're doing really well. Today I've got the permission visit of all permission visits. I'm not allowed to give away this location at all. I can't tell you what county I'm in, town or anything else. And the history I'm going to give you is going to be very vague today, so I do apologise. But what I can tell you is that this has never been filmed officially before. There's been some photos and bits of documentation, and we'll try and clear that up without giving away this location. All I can say is, welcome to the vaults. Let's take a look. Well, welcome back, everybody. You know when you sort of say to yourself, like, it can't get any better than this, and I think actually today it really can't get any better than this. I just want to massively thank the owners for allowing me access onto this. The fact that nobody else has officially ever recorded this properly is huge, and you've got to respect the decision for obviously not filming it either. But it's interesting because of the history of what it's not really, but I will tell you more about that when we're obviously going around. All I ask is that in this occasion, if for whatever reason you do happen to know this place, please show respect in not giving away the location. I'm just begging you on this one because obviously it is somebody's property, and yeah, they don't want people coming knocking on this place. So I've been very, very lucky on this one. So yeah, I'll tell you more about it when we have a look. This is crazy, this one. This place is literally crazy. Wow. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, properly. We've got to be really careful what I say. And like I said, I'm just hoping that respectful people out there, this is purely for documentation purposes only. I've been very, very fortunate. We're in some vaults. Now, what I will do is I will tell you what they were, and probably that would eliminate what people think they might have been. So I'm just going to put it out there for the two things that definitely this was. It was part of a brewery to begin with, and its main, the brewery had actually stood around this area from the 1600s, can you believe it? And then its real sort of like basic transition came in about the 1800s when the brewery was taken over with another brewery, and basically these would have probably been the vaults for that. Then, during World War II, although rumours, it's actually pretty much spot on true from what I've read, that this was also used as an air raid shelter. And what we're looking at essentially is pretty much vaulted chambers. And they are in remarkably good condition, and you can see for yourselves that they've also been cleaned up relatively recently because they've basically been gutted, and this is what we can see now. And we are relatively underground. You know, this is this is a genuine kind of like OMG type of place. It's remarkable, and again I just sort of reiterate the fact of how incredible this is. So obviously we've seen the two entrances, but obviously it does continue. And this is where it gets a bit freaky and creepy because, as you can tell, there is no natural light anymore. It's all been taken out, and we need to inspect it. We need to inspect the doom and gloom, which I love. So let's go and do it. Come on. tell you what, if you want atmosphere and spooky, this really has it. And actually, because we've got a good torch, it doesn't do it the justice that it deserves. But I'm telling you now, this is very, very eerie to be here all on my own in a place like this. And then we're going to open up, hopefully, into the vault, the third one. Wow, that is mental. So we've got some vents there. That's crazy. The construction is remarkable. There was rumours that this was to do with some form of munitions storage at one point. However, I can safely say that if it was, it would be a bit strange that it coincides exactly with when the brewery was being dealt, literally on this site. Look at that, that's crazy. This is really dark in it, by the way. It is proper dark in here. Let's keep going. This is crazy. Look at the colours. So like I said, we know that it was used as an air raid shelter and it was probably stored for using barrels of storage. The vault design is actually really strange. The way this is, it just goes up and then we've got our way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the entrance first, then come back up. So we've got two that interlink. Then we've got this, look at this, a piece of history. That is crazy. So like I said, it was really two, this is where the toilets are, I think. Yeah, where they formerly were, I think, could be wrong. That is impressive. Oh, if we give one more little strange effects. Look at this. It is difficult sometimes on a place like this when we talk about its history because we don't want to give too much away and we don't want to sort of remove to speculation. So we can only really sort of say what we can definitely say. Now, if this was munitions as well, I'm not going to say that it's definitely not, but what we definitely can say is that it was an air raid shelter and it was part of the brewery. And we know that vaults, again, this was labelled as vaults as well, vaulted chambers, vaulted cellars. We do know that within that context, although this would have dated to the period of where we are located, that would have been used potentially as munitions, and it does look very similar to its fellow landscape. There's no point saying a definite on this unless we absolutely know, and especially on my channel, this is a form of documentation. We're not only trying to give you the best account, we're also documenting its layout. Like I said, so there's 3 distinct vaults, vaulted chambers. This is our first one. We went into the middle one and we saw the other one as well. So this is it. We're at the full scope of this right now. We just need to, just trying to take my time here so we can acknowledge it as best as possible, represent it, because again, whatever the future of this place is, we won't know. It's dependent on the owner, and I've not spoken to the owner about what the future is, but to be honest with you, whatever its future, it's going to be a really cool thing to do, isn't it? Whatever its purpose. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Look at that. So we're assuming that those would have been for potential beams. There's little bit of detail in there. Looks like some cabling potentially. These look like wooden beams that would have run adjacent. Socket here. There you go. Sorry again about my rattling. I'm having to carry numerous bits. It is very dark in that bit, and I'm not joking. There is an atmosphere. There is a distinct atmosphere in this place. I'm not going to say haunted, but my God, when you're on here on your own, even though the layout is really straightforward, it's not the point. Let's keep going. Right, so we've reached our little dog leg, or like our little bit here. This is the bit we haven't looked down yet. So we're going to do that, then we're going to come back into ourselves into the main vault or the main chamber, which is remarkable really. And if we look down, that is crazy. So we've got to go right to the end here. Beautiful construction. You can imagine this being really handy for aerial shelters. Again, it's difficult to sort of tell you the location of this place, but trust me, this would have been bombed. Look at this. We're at the end. We are very deep underground. I just want to sort of like alliterate that. And there's some vent holes which are conducive with munitions. You can see also that we've penetrated the chalk as well at the back there. It is so creepy down here in terms of what it looks like. It's really weird, and there is an atmosphere like nothing else. And yet I'm open, I'm safe, but there is a strange thing going on down here, and it's wonderful to behold. Just the design of these beautiful vaults. Wow, very cool. Back through the passage we go. Well, I am so lucky today to do this. Once in a lifetime experience, especially in this condition. It will probably never be the same after this recording. What it's going to look like in its raw, natural state. Remarkable. Let's keep going. Right, so we're just going to look at the sort of entrance, the other one. So we haven't properly done it. We've sort of looked at it, but it's sort of nothing really to report, is there really? But Obviously, this was under its final sort of phase of construction, or final usage, sorry, should I just sort of say. Obviously, this was originally the entrance, or at least the main bit. We're here. Again, if I sort of told you what this was before, it might give it away a little bit. So I'm just going to just leave you guessing a little bit onto what this actually, one of its last uses was. Remarkable though, isn't it? You got to admit, pretty cool. Just this beautiful, I mean, the actual, I mean, the walls are just fantastic. It's a bit damp, bit of like, but then when you know, when you're underground, what do you expect? I mean, this goes right in, I mean, you know, when you look at the dimensions, it really doesn't do it justice. When you're here to sort of see the actual, you know, when you're here to see the length and the dimensions of it, I mean, it's absolutely huge, really, for what it's worth. You know, and again, like, you know, I just feel like I'm so lucky to have this opportunity. And again, I thank the owner for this permission visit. It's been just remarkable. And I just, you just sort of think to yourself, God, am I ever going to have an opportunity? I'm never going to have chances like this. They're once in a lifetime opportunities. And you get to sort of just immerse yourself into it. You know, you just get to sort of just be a part of this construction, part of this building, tell history, you know. Not with those lights, you don't. But you just get to tell an incredible part of it, phase of its history that's just, you know, you're here and you're thinking, wow, there's generations of people, like I said, originally potentially dating to around 1600s, but definitely in its main construction through the 1800s. Now, like I said before, we're talking about munitions and stuff like that. You don't have to sort of be an expert to understand that during the 1800s, what really the threat was at the time. Oh, it's remarkable. There's nothing else to report on the ground or anything. They've done such an amazing job actually cleaning it up, which is really, really cool. And I'm always grateful for that. But there is a bit of an atmosphere, I'm telling you now, there is a bit of a, if the walls could talk type of history. Remarkable, really remarkable. Well, everybody, I'm not going to lie, this was probably one of the coolest things I've done in a long time, because actually this was a long time, potentially a long time in the making. I'm just so humbled and grateful for the opportunity to do this, because I know that, like I sort of said in the video, you're recording a phase of its history on top of its pre-existing history, and on top of actually the future of this place. I'm literally in that pocket where, you know, whatever the future this holds, it's just remarkable that I've even had the opportunity to be here and to see it in this condition, clean as well. It was a bit creepy, I'm not going to lie. Now that says a lot for someone who's been doing this for over 20 plus years now, well, over 20 years, that there is a bit out the back there that's kind of like, oh, that feels a little bit funny. And I'm sorry for not giving you the full amount of information. Obviously, you can respect that. Like I said, this is a historical documentation channel at the end of the day. And the idea is just for you lot out there just to appreciate this. It's not, in instances like this, obviously the most important thing is that we show as much respect as possible, and the fact that the permission access on this was incredible. So thank you so much again. Like I said, you know, it's to say this place has never properly been filmed before, and I've got the opportunity to do it and to share it with you, but obviously keeping the location secret, then yeah, great. I mean, the only limitation with that, as we always talk about, is obviously the amount of history that I can tell you, like I said before. I've given you snippets of it, and there's always those bits that I just desperately want to tell you, but I can't, so it's like hold the secret, really. But like I said, there's a lot of rumour with this place, what it was. I feel we can sort of eliminate a certain amount of it, but we know primarily that this was used as a brewery in this whole area where we're sitting. Yes, it's quite possible it was used for munitions as well at the same time, obviously. During wartime and stuff, you can always get these alcoves and these sort of like vaults areas that were quite used for it. I'm not going to say no on that one. And you can see there's vent pipes at the back as well, which is even more interesting, that sort of delineates that as well. But again, if you're storing beer in here, which obviously this was a heavy, big brewery, you've got to understand that we are literally in the heart of what would have been a major brewery. And really, if we transport ourselves and we eliminate that back bit there, put my hand over that for a second, and we just look at this conical shape. Actually, really, that's quite reminiscent of a beer cellar anyway, really, isn't it? Except for it not necessarily being conical, but you know, you can just imagine beer barrels being placed here. But what we also know for a fact, or a relative fact at least, that this definitely was used as an air shelter, and the location and the place where we're at definitely delineates that that's probably what that was used for. And actually, it was quite possible that obviously in our area and actually similar places, these types of places were used as just air raid shelters. There might not have been any glorification with them, there might not have been like the luxuries of having benches or stuff like that, but it would have kept you safe. And I guarantee actually on this one, I can actually say that knowing what's above us and what's around us, actually we're fairly underground and it would have kept us relatively safe. I know we sort of seem like we're at ground level, but actually when you go in, you're in. And the fact that obviously 3 voltage chambers, you know, we're talking on an air raid shelter, it's quite, you know, it's not the worst ones you can get, although probably a little bit damp. Anyway, wow, hopefully that's been okay for you out there. Any more words of Phoenix history? Thank you so much for coming along with me and just exploring this and just hopefully just having a look, really. Like I said, this won't be the most full and documented place we're ever going to do for obvious reasons, but hopefully it's given you a flavour and the fact that this has never properly been filmed before. Let's just sort of put that one and we can tick that off, can't we? Thank you again for the owner for allowing me access. It's superstar, and to every other owner as well for helping me with all this sort of stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Take care, everybody, because history matters. I think we can say on this one, history does matter on this, doesn't it? Whatever its future holds. Take care, and of course, I will see you all very soon. Feel free to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there. Remember, I don't make any money from this, so the more people subscribe, the more people like it, spread the word of the channel, the more it encourages me to keep giving you these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, just to show you, just as a form of historical documentation. Take care, everybody. Ready? I think you are. Kapow. See ya.